is.
I'm a huge fan here. I'm not joking.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know,
I have enjoyed our time together as well. For my mental health, it might be good if I take a back seat and just come on intermittently whenever Poseidon travels once a year. That might be the MO going forward. I like that every week that I'm on now, from my perspective, it appears you are increasingly prepared every week. So the first time 2 weeks ago that I was on, your 5.5 was all over the place because that's the whole bit, right? The whole shtick here is we go through a list of superlatives. You would think that it would be, you could say it was your only job. The first time that I came on the pod was to be prepared. I didn't even know I was coming on this show, right?
I'm still laughing at that.
But your list was all over the place. Last week you were a little more dialed in. Now I'm coming in and I'm seeing you've got it written down in front of you on a bank receipt, no less. Should we show it to the camera?
Yeah, I guess.
We got this. Is would you like to show it
That's
up?
how
Flash
the list
it?
is coming.
I don't know how quickly.
Don't let people
much could
see
it
the
zoom
list.
in?
And I can't read upside down. I've not seen any of what's on the list. I'm just
Neither
remarking.
have I, for the record, but the paper he chose to write it on is definitely a full Adam.
But I like that. It feels very authentic. When I look at you, everything about your look, the grown out sideburns, the scraggly neck, the polos, the glasses, the balding, the giggle, that makes sense to me. Writing down business matters on a bank receipt. You're like one of the last guys on earth that's probably still using bank receipts for anything.
That's well said. It's probably true, yeah.
So, thank you for having me back. This is your show after all. I'm but a humble.
I mean, it belongs
guest.
to all of you intellectuals.
Belongs to the people.
Belongs to the people.
Josh Shapiro was talking about a Belgium story.
Oh boy.
Apparently, there's a story which I'm not aware of that if I'm going to be taking a step back here in a week when Poseidon comes back, I feel like, this little, I guess, month-long interlude of me being on the pod in his place, I think it would be a really good place to, cap off on is another crazy story. So the first week we had your criminal record. The second week we had
Gambling?
the high schooler. The high school.
Both.
The high school
gambling
chick.
and the high school chick.
Right.
But
this week I was told that I would do well to ask you about the Belgium story. I know nothing about it. It was Brussels or Belgium. I don't know. Is that...
That's the face you made when you had that taste in your mouth. But remember when you met a nice man that wanted to just keep you company during the night before your flight?
Oh, well...
He doesn't know the whole story. He doesn't know about your flight patterns.
The thing is, I got so many of these stories, it takes some time for my mind to zero in on the event in question.
If there are any other stories that you think you'd like to share before I hop off for an indefinite amount of time, feel free, because it will be a nice place to wrap up my time on the pod.
All right, I'll tell you. I mean, what's the difference?
With a bow.
Whether I say it once or 5 times, it's already on our database that, it's a story I've shared, right? So
yeah.
I don't want to beat a dead horse here if other people are already aware of this, but I was told, just selfishly, I would like to hear
no problem.
What happened.
No problem.
I think it would be a nice way to wrap up my time on the pod with a bow.
I agree.
Maybe just one story from your life per week.
No problem.
As I kind of, I guess...
All right.
But I guess as I diagnose you, maybe this will be like 3 separate episodes. I'll have had respective on 3 respective episodes. I don't know. I'll have had a number of occasions to kind of just assess your brain workings, and accordingly, maybe I'll be able to render a diagnosis of some kind.
Render a judgment.
Sounds good.
A judgment, yeah.
So it fell under the general heading of places you do not want to be stranded in. I remember this was one of the top 5.5. I remember one of them was North Korea, France. It was there was reasons, right?
Wait, what?
I don't remember if it was Poseidon. Okay, places you don't want to be stuck at the airport.
I know, but I might have to go back and listen to that one just because I'd like to know the brain pattern. No, but hang on. You understand from my lay point of view.
Go ahead.
To go from the swing from North Korea, where I'm on board with, to France is a big one. That's a big swing. I'm in. I would like to know more about how those are somehow on the same playing field.
Well, let me tell you the places, and then I'll give you the explanations. The jungle in Brazil, right?
The what?
The jungle in Brazil. You don't want to get stuck there because
I thought we were.
He's talking about the favelas.
I thought we were going off of airports. Did you not say
Doesn't
countries
matter.
in which you wouldn't want to be stranded at the airport?
Okay, we initially it was airports, but then we expanded it to places.
So hang on. Okay, hang on. Let me. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I have to buckle in with you.
It's okay.
I have to buckle
agree
in with
that
you,
was
and
a
I'm
bit of
going
a
to try
change
to be a
in
little calmer
convention.
this week because I did a lot of screaming into the mic last week, and I think I might break it.
No problem.
If I keep going. So I'm going to try to keep a little more dialed in. Just so the 5.5 was, to be clear, places that you wouldn't want to be stranded.
Right.
Okay. 'Cause for a second there, you veered off and said countries where you wouldn't want to be stranded at the airport, and then you veered.
Yeah,
you
I should have
shifted
said
180.
places and forgot about airports.
because you shifted 180
Places
degrees
in the
again and
world.
said the jungle in Brazil.
Right.
Favelas.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you meant. The slums in Brazil.
Yeah.
I've never heard that word, but okay, yeah.
They don't.
The idea is
They don't
there's
have
a lot of
airports.
animals there. They have snakes, and you can get eaten alive by the nature there.
The Amazon. That's not a favela.
Well, he said favela. I didn't.
The favela is more of an urban jungle.
Yeah.
Word for me. Honestly, I never heard it, so I can't comment.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't disagree. Again, just very, very all over the map. There's no real theme to this list so
Remember,
far.
it's comedy.
France, North Korea, and the jungle in Brazil. I know it's comedy. It's fine, and I'm in. Like if you could make an argument for anything, I'm in. I'm listening.
Okay. And the fourth one was in Africa that thing that's really hot there. I forgot.
The Sahara Desert.
Thank you. Yeah, the Sahara Desert.
Okay, but hang on. So the Amazon jungle, the Sahara Desert, right there, that makes sense. That's a similar theme. That's like a geographical region,
France,
in a part of the world that is a little unforgiving, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The Amazon jungle, the Sahara Desert, North Korea. I'm still on board.
The culture
Where does
is not
France
like ours.
come into the equation?
Okay, this is where it got a little bit funny.
Was this yours or Poseidon's?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Can't remember. But the joke was, I think it was the idea that you don't want to get stuck there because you're stuck with Parisians, and Parisians are people that are apparently very snobby.
That's true. It's just
I'm not
it's
saying
just a little
something
bit
that
of
no one's
a.
aware about. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a little bit random. It's not really. It's not really
I know.
consistent with the other
I know.
themes.
This
of
is not an academic show. This is a comedy show. Just bear
I
that in mind.
suppose so. But much of the comedy for me is trying to keep up with where your brain goes and how it works.
My reasoning skills, yes. All right, so this was just
I can only say what's on my mind in the moment. I hear that and I'm prompted, to ask questions.
And that's fine. So this was the general heading,
Mm-hmm.
and I was prompted, since it's I'm contributing to the podcast. I was compelled, I guess you could say, to share a personal story of mine where I was stuck overnight in a city, airport, whatever. As I'm sure you know, when you go to a certain city, I used to travel to Europe a lot. My family's from Czech Republic. Again, I have to give you a little bit of an introduction. What I often did, this is like early 2000s, the exchange rate was not very high. Instead of flying like Montreal, Germany, which would cost $1,100, you could do New York, Frankfurt. United Airlines had it was either a direct flight or New York, Washington, Frankfurt for like $500-600 US, right? Yes, there was a bit of an exchange rate, but you saved $300-400 by going down there. So let's just say that I exploited that possibility and
exploited it.
Well, I looked into it.
I mean, it wasn't a loophole.
Okay.
No, but it wasn't a loophole.
I took advantage of it.
It's a free market.
Yeah, I took advantage of the opportunity which existed.
You made a consumer decision. You didn't take advantage of a loophole. You weren't abusing a system. You just chose to have another layover. It's not that. It's not that shrewd.
That's true.
But okay, fine. Let's.
Anyways, I have done
the phrasing, the wording. Sorry, just the wording that you choose. No, it's what makes you you. It's just It's just
a little on the unusual side.
It just maybe so, but it's sometimes it will lead to to me anyway. It will lead to me just reacting in such a way where I go, oh, that's a choice
of words. Yeah. So the bottom line is, I was hoping we can kind of use common sense as a reason why I would get stranded. You take a flight from I don't care where,
You're doing this thing. We're gonna get to the story. We have all the time in the world here, but you're doing this thing where you preemptively defend yourself. That I've noticed you do. Again, if I'm diagnosing you here, I don't. Again, most sentences with you are like a journey. So I can't. I'd be paraphrasing to you
what you into the non-defensive mode.
Adam, just hang on. Let me finish. Let me finish speaking here, okay?
Yes.
A way to keep me calmer is to not interrupt and to have a back and forth,
Yeah.
okay?
True.
As though I were your therapist. Stay with me, okay?
Go ahead.
I could only paraphrase what you just said. Already, again, you said, we're going back 30 seconds. If you rewind 30 to 60 seconds in this podcast, you'll be able to hear what he just said. It's already out of my brain. There's too much going on. I cannot keep up with it. I could only paraphrase. I think you said something along the lines of, Can we rewind what he's fucking said? You said something along the lines of.
I remember what I said.
What did you say? You said. I think you
why
said,
I got myself stranded falls under the general heading of common sense. If you're taking two flights and you miss your first flight,
right. So you're coming at me from a point of, I just want to confirm that you guys all agree that I was operating on the basis of what was most sensible.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, but again, when you
missing a flight, and then you're forced to miss the second flight.
but like again, I don't have it out for you. Why would I come out and say, why would you do that?
Right.
I'm not.
Let me explain
I ain't
myself.
Poseidon.
Let me explain myself.
I only react to things you say live on the fly. I mean, if there's something that's glaring or flagrant, I'll remark it. But I'm not going to take a dump on you because you did a thing that's a little bit, I don't know, that I may not view as being that common
normal,
sense.
whatever.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I assume that most things you do feel like common sense to you. That's kind of one of the premises of this whole show, I think, is that what is sensible to you is a little peculiar to some other people.
Okay.
So you don't have to, again, just take it easy.
Right.
I'm not going to judge you here.
Cool,
You're coming at me saying
I should have taken more than 10 seconds by saying I missed my connecting flight, and as such, I was stuck in Brussels for one night. That took what, 10 seconds, 5 seconds? And
you thought I was going to judge you because you got stuck in Brussels.
I had trouble I was alluding to the fact that I didn't know. You may be inclined to ask me, how did you get stuck in Brussels? If it doesn't matter to you,
I don't care. Shit happens. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I was once at an airport in Lamezia Terme, Calabria, trying to fly back home from Italy. And I almost missed my flight because I had AirPods and I was reading the fucking Gazzetta dello Sport having coffee, and I didn't realize they were calling my name over the intercom. I narrowly made the flight by the skin of my ass. It can happen.
Okay.
Again, you're a human being. I don't know. I'm not your father. I'm not gonna.
That's true. And I wouldn't judge you the same way. I appreciate it. You wouldn't judge me. No problem.
No, this is a safe space.
All right. Okay.
Until you say something sufficiently crazy, and then I'm gonna ask you questions.
So look, you are a free-thinking person. You tell me whatever thoughts come to your mind. I don't remember the details because this was 20 years ago, but I'll do the best I can to give you a recollection of what happened, okay? Mm-hmm. So somehow there was a guy that I started talking with, okay? This was in Brussels.
At the airport.
Yes.
Going to Europe.
Coming back to Canada.
Wait, you spoke to him at the airport?
Yeah, no, this was downtown.
That's okay, but he just said the airport and you said yes.
My apologies. In downtown Brussels. So I don't know the city that well.
Hang on. All right. I'm grabbing the bull by the horns here, okay? I'm taking control. Let's pretend I'm a police interrogator.
Okay.
Because this whole story, like right now, if I'm a detective right now, okay, and this is like the interrogation room, and I think that you are a prime suspect in a killing right now, your whole story is you're not helping your case.
Okay.
I need concise details.
All right.
People
I'll
listening
give you as
need
close
concise
as
details.
possible of a recollection of events as I can.
But no, you're trying to do that right now. That's the problem. I will ask you direct questions. We're gonna get to the crux of the timeline here.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Just in an instant, okay?
Right.
Instant.
You're flying to or from the Czech Republic to visit family with a layover in Brussels.
I'm coming back to
Doesn't
Canada.
matter. Okay, you're traveling between Canada and the Czech Republic
Yes.
by way of Brussels.
Thank you. Yes.
Kind of. Or you're
No, yes.
with a layover
I don't
in
remember
Brussels.
what the other city. It could have been Vienna, it could have been Munich.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Exactly.
You're in Brussels at the airport. Your flight back to Canada's canceled or whatever. You get
Something like
stranded
that.
there.
Yes.
You decide to venture out of the airport in Brussels.
Exactly.
You have a suitcase with you.
Yes.
You have luggage.
Yes.
And you have no hotel room because you weren't planning on staying in Brussels. So you're out in the world in Brussels, not at the airport, with luggage, right?
Exactly.
Carry on. What happened?
Yes. Okay. It's obvious that if I don't know the details, then I won't tell you them, okay? I was chatting with a certain individual, okay? forget how many levels of detail there are. I believe he was Russian. He had an accent. We were speaking French.
Where did you meet him?
On the streets, no joke. I was wandering around.
You're speaking French with a Russian man on the street in Belgium.
Yes.
Okay, wait, hang on.
Seemed Russian.
No, wait, that makes sense. He lives there.
Probably.
Probably. So he
Yes.
learned French, but he's from Russia.
Yes.
Okay.
And
great.
here is what I said. I said,
Hang on. By the way, I'd love to see that scene. A Russian man speaking continental European French in Brussels to Adam, who I assume is a native English speaker.
Yep.
How's your French?
I'm fine. It's good.
How's the weather? How's the weather today? One sentence in French.
J'ai toujours été en français enrichi. Does that tell you anything? I've always
That
been.
has nothing to do with the weather.
No, I'm giving you a good sentence in French.
You're right. It doesn't, but fine. It's a French
above
sentence,
average, I
so
would say.
thank you. Okay, so you're
80%.
speaking Keb French to a Russian man
Yes.
who speaks with a continental French European
Yes.
accent.
So,
Okay.
I said something on the lines of, listen, I'm stranded here. My flight isn't until tomorrow. Is there anything that you would recommend for me to do?
Yeah, get your kidneys taken out in the hotel where my cousin is looking for a North American husband right now. Come by.
So,
I recommend
please
the
don't
Russian
ask me
sauces.
what else was said. I don't know. I'm not playing
you
games
know.
here. I don't know what was said. At the end of the day,
Okay, you don't
the guy
know,
said,
but do you
I can
remember
drive
the
you
feeling?
to the airport, but I have to stop at the police station because somebody vandalized my license plate. I have no reason to bullshit.
Hang on. Just Pantelis tried interjecting with something, and I tried listening to you and him both, but I was really listening to him, and then I come back and you're talking about police.
Fine, we'll analyze what Pantelis said.
So what? No.
No, don't analyze it.
Just take a step back. Forget what
Fine,
Pantelis
fine.
said. Just
I was
take me
speaking
back
to this
to the
gentleman,
timeline.
and don't ask me to quote every single word that was said. At
I'm
the
not
end of the
asking you to.
conversation-
It was 20 years
At
ago.
the
That
end
would be
of the-
crazy.
Thank you. At the end of the conversation, the guy said, if you want, I can hang around with you for a short period of time, and I can drive you to the airport.
Okay.
I said, all right,
Does this
fine.
man work? What time of day is it?
9 p.m.
Okay.
Now, he said, do you mind if I stop at the police station? Somebody vandalized my license plate. It's obviously against the law to have a plate that's been vandalized. So he went. It's a detail, but I remember it. He left his keys in his car. He said, just wait here, please. And he did whatever he had to do. He made a report.
The fact that you are not on the Interpol list of wanted fugitives right now is a miracle, because it's incredible. Anywhere you go, at home or abroad, you're on the verge of getting scammed because you just entrust strangers.
21 at the time.
That's fair. There's more of an excuse for that than what happened most recently, I guess.
So anyway, I know it's starting to sound annoying. I won't tell you stuff that I don't remember, but what I do remember, he went to the police station, he made the report, he said some fucking little piece of shit vandalized my license plate, he made the report.
You're not
and he
quoting him,
drove
but
me
you,
to the
but you're,
airport.
but that, I like that you remember that part of the story where he called him a little fucking piece of shit. That's you're not quoting him, but that's okay. Anyway,
He was not happy.
you're taking creative liberties with with the paraphrasing.
He wasn't
maybe,
happy, but after it was all done and you had you with him, you made him happy,
At the
right?
end of the day, the reason why I wasn't
what do you
all
keep?
that...
What do you keep alluding to? Because I don't like this. You obviously know where this is going.
He's
The
alluding
listeners
to the
do.
fact that this guy could have really got me into a lot of trouble, okay?
That's not what he's alluding to. He's alluding to the fact that, like, it sounds to me like you provided a sexual service to this guy, but I don't
That's
know.
true, I forgot about that part. But I did it, okay? You guys want, okay. Pantelis is looking for any opportunity to
true.
embarrass me based on
That's
information
true.
I feed him.
I got an eye
That's
for
true.
this.
I sure forgot.
I got a nose for this stuff.
I sure forgot about that part. And then he said he's looking to embarrass me with things that I tell him. He's not looking to embarrass me with things he makes up. He's looking to embarrass me with facts.
With the facts of who I am and what I've done, and okay.
So you're welcome to tell me it sounds peculiar, and I agree. You're in a city, you're kind of scared.
So here's the
I
thing.
remember
Here's
he
the
said,
thing.
be careful.
Before I got a little bit of a spoiler as to the insanity that I assume is to come, up till now, I'm still with you because he's a Russian man in Western Europe, and by
I
nature.
think he was Russian. I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
Ukraine.
I would expect an Eastern European man
Yes.
to do something like that and say, "Hold on, I need to stop license plate vandalized. I need to stop police station." It just feels okay. It feels like something that they might do. Sure, like something a little bit peculiar, but a lot of
The meeting
their
and hanging
behavior.
out with him is a suspicious part.
Yeah, but a lot of their behavior is just a little suspicious. Like if you've ever tried to like flirt with an Eastern European woman, maybe I don't know.
Have I?
If you've tried to flirt with a cousin, maybe I don't know. No, but they tend to be a little, I don't know, culturally they're a little different. They're colder, obviously, everyone knows that, but I find that the conversational dynamics, the social dynamics are a little odd. So maybe that's not a weird thing for a man from Bulgaria to do, whatever. Say, oh, hold on, I'm doing you a favor, let's just to stop police. Okay, okay, fine. Where does it get weird?
You should ask that to Pantelis.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, well,
I want a first-hand account of what happened.
Let's say that Pantelis has a certain amount of influence on me, okay? And I'll go with what he's influencing me to think, okay? Pantelis thinks that I got the right in exchange for sexual favors with the guy. And that's still...
What does Pantelis think? Sorry.
He said... Okay, it's a comedy show. He's just using his imagination. He thinks that I solicited, quote unquote, the lift to the airport in exchange for a sexual favor.
I don't think you solicited.
It's funny, but come on.
What I think happened was you met a guy and you told me to go in the airport. He says, I will gladly take you to the airport, but you need to take me to heaven, or I'm taking that ass to Pound Town. That's what I'm thinking. It was a fair exchange. It's currency.
I still don't know what happened because now, as of right now,
so
you're in a car.
Pantelis is going on a tangent.
Chill out.
Stop talking about me. It's you.
Chill out. I just want to. Okay. In terms of where we're at in the timeline here, there could be new listeners, man. I don't know.
Okay, fine.
Let's assume that nobody's heard this before.
Clear about?
Okay. No, I'm clear on everything. I just want to remind you where we are at in the timeline because right now. Eastern European man is in the police station, filing a report.
Yes.
You are in the car with the keys in the ignition.
Yes.
Stay on track.
Yes.
What happens next?
He drives me to the airport. That's it.
That's the story?
No, that's not the story.
Well,
that's the story he's trying to tell us, as if that would make sense in any universe.
No, it makes sense. Why is it a notable story? Why are people telling me to ask you about the Brussels story?
Because it's obvious that he sucked a man's dick.
See, this, I'm sorry to kind of go against certain conventions that I shouldn't be going against. This is where I'm kind of cornered, and I have no fucking options to say, I'm sorry, but you're not, you're
We're wrong.
Your characterization of the situation is wrong.
Okay.
Why do people think that you did?
Why do you think people assume you did?
I believe you.
Maybe
Why
I
do people
painted the story differently. Maybe I painted it a little bit. Did I say that I spent an hour of time with the guy? I don't know.
You said you spent hours until the morning when he brought you to the airport.
What time was your flight?
Oh.
What time was your flight?
The next day, I don't remember.
What did you do all night?
I remember he drove me there at about... Fine. You know what? You're right. There's a little bit of a snag in terms of the way I presented the story. It may have been 9:30. We chatted.
Yeah.
He went to the police station. Maybe we spent an hour chatting. Okay, fine. Maybe that's what's getting people to kind of roll their eyes. What's the story? Okay. At the end of everything, he told me, be careful who you speak to. And he drove me to the airport. He says, thank you. Have a nice evening. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
And he thanked you for your time.
Okay, no, fine. Pantelis wants to, what's the word? Get people's imaginations going.
No.
Sensationalizing things. Are you sensationalizing things?
This is what I'm doing. I'm taking the information given to me.
I thought he was a homophobe. What are you doing?
He is a homophobe, but he needs a ride. A ride's a ride. It's not gay if it's a ride.
A ride is a ride.
So then Pantelis refuses to believe that he was a good Samaritan.
Why do you not believe it?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because it says good Samaritan, but good Samaritan is someone who sees an accident or something and then goes and helps. What you're telling me is downtown, some random Russian guy in another country, you approach him looking the way you do, and you just tell him in your broken French and his broken French, you guys communicate, you become friends within this 3 seconds to the point where he takes you in his car, brings you to the police station, and then has the courtesy and the trust in this new man to leave the keys in the ignition with you there.
You had rocked his world before that.
And then you guys keep talking and forgetting how long you spent together, what time it was. You're like, oh, sorry. I think he thanked me. What would he thank you for? You didn't do anything for him.
Time went by
No, I thanked him. Excuse me. I thanked him.
It's not the way that goes.
Okay, sorry. I thanked him.
But yeah,
feels like you're reaching a little bit on this one.
Well, I'm glad that Sammy at least is someone that's on my side that's trying to defend
I don't know.
me.
This is an insane story.
It's
an insane story. How am I the one who's reaching? This is insane. There's clearly more to this story that he keeps adding on every time we ask him about it.
Well, I don't know. Why are you assuming that he sucked a man's dick?
Well, because he doesn't look like a guy that'll get fucked in the ass.
Maybe he's the one who did the fucking.
Maybe he did bang him. I don't know. Look, I didn't think that far ahead. I'm honest. I'm very sorry, Adam. I didn't think about that. I thought the simplest, it was either that or a handy.
I don't know what that word means.
A hand job.
No.
Okay, it wasn't a hand job. You didn't try to shift his manual thing.
Okay, let's please go back to ABC level logic here.
Let's go.
If that happened, don't you think that I wouldn't tell a fucking soul?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling me that. Thank you for telling me that. I get exactly what you're saying. High five. Me and you were boys.
I feel like there's something you're omitting here because why the hell else would
Yeah, and
people...
he just said he's omitting stuff, and there's stuff that he's always going to omit, and you're never going to get out of him.
I'm sorry if I'm a little on the defensive, but it's 20 years ago. You can't expect me to fish out every little detail. Where did I meet him? Where did he go? Which I'm giving you the general genre of what happened that evening.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I mean, please.
It's
I
fair.
don't come across as a dishonest/deceptive person, do I? I'm telling
little.
you to the best of my
You
abilities.
do come across as a slightly...
Deceptive.
no, well, as a slightly...
You're slippery. You're slippery like a
I
snake.
would describe you as... what's the term in literature? Like
Not evasive.
You're like an unreliable narrator, perhaps.
Yes, that's great.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But I get it. Like from your point of view, right? Like if somebody was gay 20 years ago, one time in a foreign country, did it make a sound? You know?
Oh, boy.
If you suck a Russian man's dick and he can't speak English, does it make a sound? You know what that is, Adam? You know what I'm sensing? This is like when you talk to your grandmother about what a dirty little
was.
Well, you know, it's a little more decor than that. Sure, whore. What a dirty whore your grandmother was back in the day. What? Sure, but sometimes you might talk about, who your grandmother dated before she met your grandfather. Ooh, there was this one boy, and she'll have this like giggle. I'm sensing a little bit of that from you. A little bit of a naughty.
Adam is a naughty giggler. Let me tell you, he knows how to giggle.
Listen, I have a story that it's pretty much a replica of this one. Very close, okay? We were talking about, this was I remember the year, 2003. I was going to Czech Republic and I was going through Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the passport office and they said, give us a week, we'll give you your new passport. It wasn't coming.
The passport office here in Canada.
Here in Montreal.
Before
yes.
leaving.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I actually did something which shows that I'm a pretty crafty person. United Airlines did not have a customer service office. For whatever reason. They did in Toronto, but not in Montreal. Uh-huh. I got my passport finally. It was a few days later. I drove to Toronto. I explained the situation. I said, my passport's a little bit late. Can you guys put me on a flight? They put me on a flight to Washington, D.C.
You flew without a passport?
No. After I got it. This is a few days after my scheduled flight. They're not going to let me on if I don't have my passport. Let's say my flight was scheduled August 20th, and I got my passport on the 23rd.
Right.
So I went to the airport in Toronto, explaining the situation to an agent live. They have a customer service office there, desk.
Okay.
So they said, okay, well, we have to rebook you. They booked me through Washington, D.C.
Free.
I spent the night, yes, because my excuse was viable.
They delayed your takeoff till...
By 3 days.
Okay.
The passport office delayed my takeoff because they laugh at me. You can't, but you get my point.
I understand. Okay,
so
no, I'm just
I
making
was
sure
stranded along the same lines in Washington D.C. My one flight was made, but then I had a flight the next day to I think it was Frankfurt. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
It's a lot of stops, by the way.
it is. Well, I drove to Toronto. I didn't fly to Toronto.
What'd you drive to Toronto?
I just told you they had a customer service desk where you could actually speak.
You couldn't
to somebody.
call? This is 20 years ago.
It
was like 2001.
I fared well.
What do you mean you fared well? You fared well on the drive?
The customer service, if I called them, they'd probably say, okay, you have a service charge of $200, blah, blah, blah. It worked that I was able to speak to somebody.
Well, this is crafty. In your mind, you thought you did well to go to Toronto.
Yeah.
You tell me. I didn't pay $200 fee. I explained.
How much you pay to get to Toronto?
No, you just paid, $75 of gas and I don't
Did
know.
you rent a car?
And a rental, yes. Okay. This
So you
is
pay
$200.
more.
Come on,
So you-
man. Okay, you made a point.
You wanted an excuse to rent cars.
The amount.
You were just looking for excuses to rent cars.
The lengths you go to
Gas wasn't
commit gay
expensive
sex
back
in
then
foreign
as it
countries is
now.
crazy.
How about that? All right. Or more. It could have been $200 plus exchange. Fine.
And then tell us.
Fine.
What happened in Washington that is in no way suspicious?
Once again, I have to spend the evening somewhere. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. This is downtown Washington. You ever been to Washington?
Never been to
I
Washington.
have.
Okay. I'm in downtown Washington. I mean, it's just a little story, but it's entertaining. A cop, he doesn't pull me over. I'm stationary. He pulls up beside me and he says, "Sir, you need to get out of here. This is a bad area. Please."
Yeah, it's where all the
So
hookers and crackheads are.
I didn't know
Emphasis
this is the
on the
capital of the
hookers.
USA.
How did you wind up there?
I had to go somewhere.
Why
I just
do
did
you-
some
Yeah,
sightseeing.
but why there? Yeah, sightseeing the hookers.
Wait, hang on a second. When you're
Oh,
flying...
no. He's talking about the hookers again.
It's like that Dave Chappelle bit, where he's like where he's in Washington D.C. in the hood with the guy in a fucking limousine. Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand is when you're flying to the Czech Republic, yeah, right, you got layovers in country X and country Y and city X and city B, whatever the
Only
fuck.
one in this case.
Okay, no problem. But you flew from Washington to fucking Prague direct?
Frankfurt. I took the train there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a long history of trains in Eastern Europe.
Hey, if
Yeah,
it works,
between those
though,
guys.
it's not always
Listen,
success.
they built them. They built them for one reason, and they're being used for another one now. I mean, but you know, well, why wouldn't they use them? They got them, right? So hang on. So when you stop over in a city to get to your final destination, a thing I'm noticing is you always venture out into the city in these stories. Why?
Because I got a bonus that I get to see city, and then
When you get up to misadventures and have promiscuous sex with people that you'll never need to interact with again, there's no chance you walk by them on the street in your own
He's the
city.
Hugh Hefner
you
of
know
our
what,
time.
guys? Okay, I said it earlier, and it's
What makes you
it's
say
funny.
that? Because he's horny?
He's a horn dog, and I love how horny he
I
is.
see that history just repeated itself. This might be a good time to use the word exploit. Pantelis is exploiting the fact that I'm in some low end area of Washington, and he's paralleling hookers.
Well, you're
I
doing.
mean, come on.
Who would see?
I love that I'm the problem.
Who would see the link?
Yeah.
You're doing
I'm in a whorehouse. Why do you assume I'm banging
you're doing it to
hookers?
yourself. I think you like it a little bit. I think you like maybe it's because you're like deep. You know, you have this deep seated pornographic conservative streak in you. You know, so you're kind of deeply ashamed of your sexuality. So what you like is you like people to come out and shame you publicly. I think is what might be going on here, because that's what he's doing. He's and you're not getting mad. You're giggling.
I'm a guest here, okay? I'm not happy, but at the end of the day, he's the one who's
you
setting the tone for the
look
way-
miserable
You look
right now. You look devastated. You look like you're having a horrible time. Giggling, big smile, just a deviant smile and a deviant laugh.
I'm gonna tell you something, Adam.
When we talk about the deviant sexual
Go
things
ahead,
you've
Pantelis.
gotten up to,
the only advice that I really truly hope you take from this episode, just be you. Don't worry about what people think. It doesn't matter. Like, you were born this way. Just be you. You don't have to conserve anything. You know, whatever makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone, go ahead and do it, buddy. We got your back. Cool?
Cool.
Nice. Okay, that's it.
I thought I would actually ask Sammy an interesting question about a podcast.
tell me.
At the very end of your podcast about the late Silvio Berlusconi,
From a year ago, by the way, I walked in and he goes, "I listened to your pod from a year ago."
I'm going to 11 months ago, then
it's a
10
deep
months
cut.
ago, then
No,
9.
I like how you mentioned the late
Appreciate it.
Well, it's
Berlusconi.
well known. I know that he passed away. Anyway, at the very end of the podcast,
Yeah, the whole pod was about how he was dead.
Yeah. But anyway, at the very end of the podcast, I hope you remember, you're calling up this guy.
I don't. It's from last
You
June.
don't remember calling Big Mike and telling him, how do I import this? It's in Puglia. Don't go to Puglia and get it.
Vaguely.
So I was just trying to figure out,
There
you
was
have a niece named so
Can we give people context? There was.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck you guys are saying.
I went through a month last year where I was just prank calling on the pod, and I
Oh,
told
it's a
listeners,
prank
reach
call.
out, give me people you think I should prank call. So like one guy
Okay,
from
that
Australia
explains
said, fucking prank call the head of my sporting club. He's some crazy Greek cunt. He might have been Italian. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Some other guy told me call my uncle's deli in New York.
That's it.
And say I don't know.
Big Mike is the guy's name.
Just waste his time and see if you can get him to snap. I think that's what I did there. I
And
don't
then you
remember.
told him, by the way, I have a message from your nephew so-and-so, and he says, I don't have a nephew named so-and-so.
Yeah, because so I actually met that guy in New York when I went to live there for 6 weeks in the fall to try the city out, and on the way back because it was in White Plains, no, in Westchester. I don't remember, but it was kind of on the way.
Outside of New York. I know where that is.
Yeah, well, it was north of the city. So on the way back up, I actually stopped in to meet the man and say,
That you
hey.
prank called.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he told me the reason he said he didn't have a nephew is because he thought I was like some guy who was looking to kill his nephew or something. Like I was just calling.
he did
Like I
have
was
a nephew,
calling
but
his
he didn't want to
family's
admit it.
businesses and trying to intimidate them somehow by just wasting time.
So
Yeah.
he wasn't upset.
I think he was just a little suspicious. I mean, he was a New York Italian man who just thought, yeah, he was probably thinking in the back of his head, my stupid fucking nephew fucked someone's girl or something. I think is what he probably thought.
Adam, give me your list.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to read this, right?
Why not?
You're gonna have to make it out
There's a
through.
section on prank calls, by the way.
Oh fuck!
You have to make it out through the TD Bank logo on which it's written. Man, so listen. Let's just cut to the chase. Do you suck dicks or not?
No.
Have you ever?
No.
You know, if you did, I will say this. I think you could do a lot of good to just live your. I mean, if you did it before and you liked it, wouldn't you want to do it again? You know.
This week's top 5.5 best means to make oneself laugh.
Talk to Adam about gay sex, and he'll break out into
That went very well with the
into
beginning
hysteria.
of the podcast.
Number 5.
Poseidon just saved you. Sorry, Pantelis just saved you by the bell. By the way, you just,
Yep.
you just don't have to answer.
Number 5. Favorite comedians: Pantelis, Ted Bird, Mike Ward, Bill Peters, Sugar Sammy. Who the fuck is Bill Peters?
He's on the. Well, I had to do my due diligence and find out who some good comedians were.
Wait,
who's Bill
but that's
Peters?
not how you pick
He's a
good comedians. It's who you find funny.
I know. The truth, and I know I'm a little bit, I risk getting embarrassed, but I kind of ran out of time and I had to put something together. It's better to put something together that's not the best than not put something together.
That's not wrong.
So hang on. You're telling me that the last couple of weeks, those clusterfucks of lists that you came,
was effort in
those were prepared.
Semi.
Semi.
I have a semi right now.
What are we doing? Sorry. By the way, it just happened. See,
Okay.
exactly. Just gay
These are all
euphemisms
themes
and you
of
laugh.
people, things that get people to laugh. The common themes of all of the numbers here are
Okay.
things that get people to laugh.
Okay.
And that was number 5.
Number 1 is comedians. Well, all right.
Favorite
sure.
comedians. Yeah, these lists don't make any sense because this is insane. Number 4 is gonna rock your world. Number 4, favorite source of laughter could be private person Marco D'Amico, classmate.
Domenico.
Can you trust your headmaster
I'll
from
explain.
high school? Tell joke about gift for him and secretary.
I'll explain it. Okay.
You realize that's not a list number. This is insane. This is ramblings of a lunatic.
Okay. I will use this one as a joke, which I personally
What's
like.
the 5.5? What's things that make you laugh?
Fine. I should have just subtitled it something funny which someone you know.
What?
Okay, wait. Let me back up a little bit.
Please
It doesn't
do.
have to be comics. It can be your personal sources of people that make you laugh. It could be a guy you've known a long time, a friend, an acquaintance. That's what I was alluding to.
Is the point of the
And
show to
in
go
my
over stuff, or is the
case-
point of the show to just see like
Both. Share thoughts and give personal examples.
I don't know, a person who diverges from a behaviorally divergent person just try to come up with but really, what's the point of the? Is the point to
Okay, I'll answer your
no, but
question.
is the point to spark curiosity? Is the point to kind
That
of
too, yeah. You share an experience
because it
and
feels
you
like
ask
the whole.
others.
It feels like this whole thing. This whole. I don't know if it's better when Poseidon runs it, but I feel like this whole shtick of going over a list of things isn't really engaging unless I'm yelling at you
So
about
that-
stuff. But I feel like I know better than to do that now because I don't even expect anything concise from you.
I would like
So-
to explain my reason to you, please.
What's no, not yet. We're not
Okay,
there
all
yet.
right, I'll tell you the joke.
We're not there yet.
So I'll tell
I
you-
just need to know. I got OCD. All right, I need to know what we're categorizing here.
Fine.
Things that are funny, or things that make you laugh.
Things
was the prior one. Yeah,
no,
that's
this
the
is
general heading.
The list is best means to make oneself laugh.
Yes.
Top 5.5 best means to make oneself
One
laugh.
item was comedians.
Okay, comedians is a way to make
Yes, but that's
oneself
not what the
laugh.
item
Yes.
was. The item was favorite comedians: Pantelis, Ted Bird, Mike Ward, Bill Peters, Sugar
Okay,
Sammy.
I
but
just
this
gave
is shorthand.
examples.
This is
I
shorthand
gave
for himself. What he meant to say was comedians, and he was then gonna fire up some of his favorite comedians. Okay, fine.
All right, but
I'm
then
with you.
number 4.
No, but what's number 4 now?
Number 4 is favorite source of laughter could be private person Marco D'Amico.
Stop there.
Classmate,
Stop
can you
there.
trust
Okay,
your headmaster
it rambles
from high
on. It
school?
rambles on.
Okay, I'll
Headmaster,
shorten
key
it.
buzzwords,
I'll
weird.
shorten it.
Huh?
I'll shorten it.
No, but
People
I
you
don't
like
even
to
think you
make you
can
laugh.
shorten. I don't even think you can shorten it because nothing on the list it falls under the umbrella of things that make you laugh. Unless what you're trying to say is what you're saying. Number 5, comedians,
Yes.
professional funny people. Number 4, private sovereign citizens.
Yes.
Who happen to make you laugh,
Yes,
like
you
my
got it.
uncle who
You
tells
got
funny
it.
stories.
You got it.
What a crazy way of wording it. Can you read? Okay, hang on. So now that we've established what you meant to say, let's, Pantelis, take it away. Read what you what you wrote.
Number 4, favorite source of laughter could be private person Marco D'Amico classmate.
Domenico.
Can you trust your headmaster from high school? Tell joke about gift from him and secretary.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Headmaster Marco D'Amico. Do you know who Marco D'Amico is? He's a friend of...
Domenico.
fuck's happening?
Sorry?
He's my
I
former
don't know what
classmate.
any of this is.
Okay.
He's my former classmate.
Okay.
And a friend of Guido's too, by the way. We were all classmates. So you think of a funny joke, and I'm sharing you mine, and if you want to share me yours, you're welcome to.
Why was Marco D'Amico funny? No, but here,
Funny? Why was he
I
funny?
like this. I
Okay,
like this.
good.
I got a story
All
about a
right.
funny wop from when my dad went to school, too. There was a guy named Rocco D'Addario who walked into home ec class in the fucking 80s. And this is in the East End in Montreal North. He walks into a class and he goes to the prof. He goes, he's 14, 15 years old at the time. He goes, me, I don't know, sir. Me, I smell cock. Like it's like a cooking class. And he goes, that's good. So private, either you have
So you will
old
find it
classmates that could make you laugh.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was at the end of high school.
Why was this guy funny?
I
let
have
me
a
tell
joke
you the
about a high
joke.
school in
You'd have to hear
Columbine, Colorado. I have a joke about a high school in Columbine, Colorado.
Go ahead.
That you, a professional one that you will say on stage, or just one that came to mind now? What
It's
do
a killer joke.
I don't mind
you
going.
want to burn it?
No, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, so the joke was, I was alluding to the fact that every year I would get my headmaster a gift, usually chocolates, whatever, a chocolate's a bottle of wine. This time I
Was
got
this a
him
religious
chocolates.
school?
No,
Was this where you
no,
developed a
no.
proclivity for
Listen, I guarantee you're
conservative
gonna laugh.
power dynamics and?
I got him chocolates and a book, and I was telling Marco, my former classmate,
That's very
I
nice.
said, I gave it to a secretary. He wasn't available. And then Marco says, I don't know if you can trust that secretary. Because you know why? Because she ate the chocolates. And you know what I said? And maybe she ate the book too. That's all, And he laughed. That's all. He just, you think of a joke and
It's a great one. Honestly, I wish I thought of that one.
That's from the 90s.
it was a night.
And it stayed with you to this day?
I mean, killer jokes like that, they stick around.
Yeah.
Come on, Adam. Marco D'Amico.
Domenico.
The
that's
Marco
how it's
Domenico
pronounced, yeah.
eating the chocolates. That's,
And Guido made a shout out to him once.
book.
what was Guido like in high school, by the way?
He was a really cool guy.
Was he a funny guy?
Very.
He was like the Fonz.
Okay, that's funnier than Marco Domenico saying, I ate the chocolate, or she ate the chocolate, maybe.
Well,
It's not really that.
I said it. He says, I don't trust her, and I turned it into a joke. He says,
Yeah.
I don't know if you trust her.
Is that like a thing in your relationship now, where if ever you see Marco, you'll just say, "Hey, don't eat the book." If someone, like if you're on vacation together, you pull out a
I
book.
haven't
Hey,
seen
don't
him
eat
in
it.
years, believe it or not. I hadn't seen Guido in 15
It doesn't
years.
sound like you had great banter, to be fair. So if that's the funniest interaction that you guys had,
And there's another
the
joke.
friendship might have lacked for
We drifted
a little
apart,
bit of,
that's all. You.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll just share another joke. Most people find it funny. It depends depends what kind of style your sense of humor.
Yeah, try again.
You know how you can tell if you didn't put on good deodorant?
Sure.
There's some good names and some bad names.
Yeah.
I didn't put on right guard. I put on left guard. Anyway, just
What's the Columbine joke?
It's all right. That was the joke, but it's okay.
What?
That's fine. I'll tell you later.
Never mind. All right. Excuse me. Come see Pantelis live. For
Number 3, my favorite joke to tell. I put left guard.
yeah, I just said it all.
you burned it. You burned it early.
Sorry.
Also, right after it says stop being a gangster.
Okay, this is another joke that if you see the way I'm expressing myself, you actually will find it funny. Okay. This never happened, but I used to go to Southern New Jersey, where I'm sure you know is not the most safe place, right?
Okay.
And you ever been there, by the way, near Philly? Anywhere in that area?
Maybe.
Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. So this is all a joke, right? I go to a bar, I meet this guy. I found out it's a bar where a lot of gangsters go to, right? So I say, someone told me over there there's a gangster. Go and
I
chat
cannot
with
imagine you in a bar where gangsters frequent.
I know.
I mean, they would. You imagine this guy, like walking in. You'd be a great
If
Sopranos
I actually
character.
said this, never mind. What would happen to me? Something very. It's a joke, okay?
But you'd be a great peripheral character in The Sopranos who walks in who just, I don't know,
Maybe.
like Chrissy Moltisanti's high on heroin or whatever, and you just walk in, and you just start fucking just giggling and asking him too many questions.
Yeah.
He snaps on you.
So I go to this guy and I said, I understand. We start chatting. I have a drink and he says, so I hear you're a gangster. Yes, I am. And he says, what kind of stuff do you do? He says, I can't talk about that. That's personal. But I can refer you to my associate over there or whatever, Billy, right? So I start chatting with Billy. I say the same thing. So I understand you're a gangster. Cool. What do you do? Sometimes I break people's legs. Sometimes I kidnap them when they have outstanding debts. And I said, are you serious? Don't you know the difference between right and wrong? You need to stop being a gangster. Next thing I know, he's holding a gun to my head.
Really?
You know, it's never happened. I took an idea and I turned it into a joke. And I told one of my friends that if you ever say that to a gangster, they're going to hold a gun to your head. So that's how I made the joke.
You want to come to an open mic with me tonight?
I'd love to see him.
Oh wait, you got to be home by 10. That's a problem. That's the only thing stopping your blossoming. What will be a blossoming comedy career? If not for the fact that you had to be home, you'd be out there fucking.
Anyway,
killing
you're
it.
willing to tell me it was an okay joke, so.
So it's yeah.
Okay,
You know.
If you love that, you're gonna love number 2.
Yeah. Well, if you love jokes like that, it's no wonder that fucking Pantelis is your favorite comic. God, yeah. Who else?
Number 2, favorite pranks to play on someone. Cat Spencer on Mix 96. I pricked holes in his condom.
You what?
Go ahead.
Okay. There was a show. Did you ever used to listen in the mid-90s when it was called Mix 96?
Yeah, I just want to know.
He would dial for Deps and say, everything the guy would say, he would just say, hello.
But you played the prank on him with the condom
No,
prank
I'm
on him?
making reference to pranks that I forgot what mine was, but I was thinking of just like a common prank.
Okay, because that's a terrible prank.
It wasn't me, it was Cat Spencer. You know?
That's a really good prank, though. It's a really there's a long yield. There's a big payoff.
It wasn't me,
Takes
it
a-
was Cat Spencer. That's the line of the episode.
By the way, you're getting me back because for a while there, I was thinking, fuck, if this is your sense of humor, it's got to be tough for you to hear like, yeah, these are jokes that I find funny. The guy pulled a gun on me. Also, my favorite comic is me. Imagine you fucking.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You're like, fuck, is this guy who's got like a weird ass,
Well-
barometer for what he
Yeah.
decides is funny. He thinks I'm funny. He thinks he thinks
holes
Mike
in
is funny.
condoms
He
and
thinks Ted's funny. He thinks who's Bill Peters? What's that other name on the list?
Bill Peters.
yeah.
Bill Peters. Who is that, by the way?
Do you mean Russell Peters?
Bill
So it
Burr
could
or
be
Russell Peters?
I think he's
Could
mixing
be
him
Russell
up.
Peters.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I saw his name on Just for Laughs last year. I guess I know there wasn't
Yeah.
this year, but anyway.
Probably Russell.
Okay.
Well, because the last thing on the list that we just hit, your favorite jokes. I mean, that is legitimately a real argument. Like if you say, I love Pantelis, I love Mike Ward, I love Ted Bird, I love Russell Peters, here's my favorite joke. If anyone who's never seen Pantelis
Sorry,
or
it
Mike
is
Ward or
Russell
Russell Peters,
Peters. I
okay,
just
but if
dawned
anyone
on
has
me.
never seen any of them perform, and hears you say, I'm one of their biggest fans, and then hears you tell those jokes, they're never going to watch Pantelis live. That's the point I've been trying to make.
I got a couple of good monster jokes.
You gotta
Yes,
think,
man.
fuck, who's Mike Ward?
Okay, you know
Who is this Pantelis guy? Is he making fucking jokes from
I
the
should've
50s?
forewarned
Hey, I told him he pulled a gun on me.
I should have forewarned you. I
It's a
said,
horrible
here's some examples of
advertisement
people
for him
that
and the people you said you like.
I should have said I like them because they're well known. Why would somebody advertise somebody that's not well liked?
Notice he doesn't like Hitler.
I spent a lot of time in Germany on trains. So are you a closeted Hitler fan? Maybe also a closeted homosexual like Hitler might have been? Adam and Hitler might have a lot in common.
Oh, yeah.
Fascination with the train system and sexual conservatism.
Yeah.
I think Hitler was a bit ashamed
Bit
of
of a
his,
prude.
Well, he was
his
married,
mannerisms.
wasn't he? He was married to Eva Braun.
How does that make you a prude or non-prude? You could be married and get nasty.
Both have criminal records.
I don't know.
There's a lot in common. Anyway, all right. What's number 2? So pranks like
I'm
poking a
not a
hole in
big
someone's
fan.
condom.
There's another one here.
That's
Your
not-
next prank.
you
it says-
misread it.
No, I didn't. And then here it says, telling someone you have farted now.
Oh, so the prank is, they'll come, you let somebody know, hey, I have to fart now. And then you go, and then they say, that's disgusting. Like you're trying to get off the hook because you warned someone.
I love how I misread that. Yeah.
If I'm listening to this pod and I never heard of Russell Peters before, I'm saying I'm never seeing that guy again.
I mean, he's doing them a favor.
I'm blocking Russell Peters on Instagram. I never want to see his reels. People like Russell Peters like.
Well, I
It's
named
like the
so
most
many
infantile
names.
juvenile.
What's the difference between having named 3 names or 6 or 7? I just,
You're not
Just,
getting my
you're
point.
not
I'm saying
understanding
that your
what the point
your humor is very infantile. What you're saying.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it's also
How old are you?
dangerous.
I farted.
I'll tell you, the whole thing is super dangerous.
I wanted to try and keep an item on every one of the list. All of the items, I wanted to have something supporting.
Giving
I should have left it blank, but
I'm
anyway.
giving my
To be
buddies.
fair-
I'm not a
kids.
prankster.
To be fair, though,
That's
to
why
be fair, honestly, I take it back. I was kind of making fun of you. I was giving you a hard time for saying that, whatever, claiming you farted when you didn't is funny. And I was saying, it's what are you, a toddler? I take that back. It's very effective. if you're sitting in this room right now and if you Adam starts giggling and says I farted, I'm furious.
I know. I have something very funny to tell you.
Wouldn't that anger? You imagine if you're just in a fucking
Poseidon
room?
would be the first to tackle me straight to the ground.
If you were in a car with Poseidon and you just said I farted and did it, he would lose his mind.
No, I farted and I did. I farted, but I advertised it.
Oh, you actually did, but you advertised it. That's even worse.
Hey, I just farted, and that's why I'm thinking I'm up now.
Oh no, that's infuriating. Yeah, no, that's funny for one person and one person only. That's you. To be fair, no, that's actually a good one. If you just say have you ever done this thing like where you're in a car with like your father or whatever, or your brother, a cousin, I don't know, just like a family member, somebody you've known for a long time, and you maybe just fart and you fucking lock the windows, and they squirm and they want to kill you, but it is funny.
I did that once with a cousin.
I've done that with my brother. Like where if I fucking, I'm sitting in the front.
You know what his words were? You're still a pig. I don't care if you announce it or not. So that's what makes it funny.
Yeah. No, but it does. It is one of the most effective ways of making yourself laugh. Just seeing someone just short circuit and spaz because you farted. It is funny. But again, if you fart in a car with me and you tell me you farted, I'm furious.
Yeah. Okay, it depends if it's a nasty one or a mild one. If
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's the thought that counts. The fact that you were trying to make me uncomfortable, put me in a horrible spot. I'm furious.
Actually, this is a true story.
But it's fun to do to other people. It does.
I know a guy, and I asked him, "Do you mind if I fart?" Sometimes he says yes. Sometimes he says no. It's not a good time. So at least I'm not joking.
No, it's not a bad. I'm not in the mood. I had a tough day. I've been going through a divorce.
It's a no fart day. Sorry.
Oh man, no. You know what upsets me is when people start farting when if I'm having indigestion or whatever. I traveled with my dad to Ireland last year, and it's like we're not eating vegetables or fruit. I'm like fucking bloated. I get bloated every time like I take a flight. I just don't shit for like 2 days. My dad is shitting like a champ, dude. I'm fucking pounding coffee, tea. I can't do it. And we're sharing a hotel room. Shitting like a champ. He's rubbing it in my face. Like he was farting in a car at one point. And I was just mad. I wanted to kill him because I was like, yo, fuck yourself. So I got indigestion and he was gloating almost. He's like, oh yeah, fuck.
That's between you and him.
You should be so lucky. Anyway, it's effective. That's maybe the best.
The number one is coming up, Adam.
Well, he's on fire right now because that's the best one he's come up with in 3 weeks.
Hold on, number one.
Is this where it all falls apart, Adam?
Favorite dick jokes. How can you tell when you have a small dick, Adam?
You can tell when you have a very small dick when you can barely see it under a magnifying glass. I mean,
Yeah.
You tell a few people, they find it, they chuckle. That's all.
They chuckle.
And there's
Adam, if you say that to a person in the wild, I think they're running for the hills. If you come up to them. No, it's no wonder that the chick in your class wasn't really feeling it, huh? It's no wonder that the guy in Belgium, the Russian man, thought he could trick you into sucking his dick. You tried telling a joke to lighten the mood, and he's like, "There's something about this guy. I think he's easily manipulated. He could easily be manipulated into." Adam, we got better dick jokes than that.
fair enough. Well,
The penis is the focal point of much of a young comics, material. It does focus largely on the penis.
Listen,
that's a tough one.
Creativity is the key here,
Creativity is the key.
Quality too, but creativity is the main thing. You come up with something, you share it.
Before, hold on, we can't forget because he has a half.
Yes, I do.
And the half. What's a funnel or a fold?
Funkle.
What's a funkle? You tell us, Adam.
What's a funkle?
So a woman sleeps with her husband's brother, her brother-in-law,
Fun
right?
uncle.
Right. Let me explain. And the other way around. Sorry, a guy sleeps with his sister-in-law, right? A guy's brother's married, and he sleeps with the woman that his brother's married to.
Right.
She gets pregnant. Everybody thinks it's the guy who's married's kid, but it turns out to be the guy who sleeps with her's kid, right? So he's the uncle and the father at the same time. So he's the funkle. That's all. You just play with words. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Pantelis, you want to pull up a video of a Palestinian kid getting beheaded that I saw today to lighten the mood?
Did they really behead kids now?
No. They blew up a site, and a kid, I think, had his head blown off.
Business as usual.
Levity. That's
Yeah.
Adam, I mean,
I think I won't quit my day gig, that's for sure. But
I just
How's your day get going? Please tell everyone if you're happy.
Because,
I'm happy.
I can't yell at you, man. I can't yell at you
He gets
anymore.
yelled at every day by his customers, so don't yell at
I
him.
can't yell at you. I yelled at you a lot last week. I can't be mad at you for that. Listen,
you can tell I'm trying my best.
I wish all the audiences at a comedy show were just comprised exclusively of Adams.
Oh, me too.
Be very, I mean, how great is this? You're like the biggest laugh whore I've ever met in my life.
I'm going to share something
You're like a
with
dirty
you.
little cum slut with laughs.
I'm going to share something with you. Interestingly enough, I have to give credit to Guido because Guido basically said, hey, you want to go on the show? And I didn't see any reason why not. And I've never taken any comedy classes. I've never taken any acting classes. All of a sudden, Guido says, Adam, you're going to turn the show around. So I swear to you, hats off to Guido, you know?
It's thanks to Guido that we have.
Yeah, I mean, what can I
It's
say?
thanks
you know?
to Guido that we have that we got to hear such great material today.
And creativity.
as if we don't have enough reason to be on ice with Guido right now. Just fucking just fell out with the show, not on the pod anymore, and now he's bestowing us with jokes such as, how can you tell if you have a small penis? You can't see it under a microscope. I'm gonna
That's
kill.
classic.
I'm gonna kill Guido. I'm gonna kill fucking Guido right now. How's the job going?
Not bad. No change. I mean, it's what I anticipated.
Have you gambled on the job yet?
Not while working.
Not while
I've
working.
played bets. I've placed bets, yes.
Not while the vehicle's moving.
No.
While on the clock, but while parked.
Listen, you can think whatever you want, but I follow rules. Those are rules that are going to get me fired, so.
Are you picking up children? You picking up vulnerable people? Who are you transporting?
Well, no, it's part of the job. He's not kidnapping.
We have companies. I work for a
Oh,
company.
you had me at come. We have what?
We have, the company I work for
come.
has a contract with companies. Like the casino, large companies, I don't want to go to it. It's private, okay? And I drive them from place to place.
Well, it's not private. It's a public business.
I prefer to keep the matter private, is what I'm saying. You
But
know?
do they?
You're transporting old people to
I don't
like
care.
a casino?
It's my gig.
But
with
you own the business. I didn't know. Fuck, congrats.
No, I don't own anything. I work for a company that has a contract.
He doesn't
That's
even
not
own
a
the,
place.
you don't even own the couch in your apartment.
That
You don't
too.
even own the space that you occupy.
But to answer Pantelis' question, yes, what I anticipate is more or less the same. I've worked as an Uber driver. I worked as a driver before. So I'm not, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing deviated from any other of my previous jobs, or not too much. You're told to go to a place and drive a person from place A to place B.
Yeah, nothing weird about that.
So, well, there shouldn't be, but just the way that you go about talking about it, that's what makes it sound weird. It sounds like you work for the mob or something.
I guarantee you I don't.
I don't think you'd survive if you worked for the mob. But again,
It's hard to say if a true gangster would have find that joke funny, eh? Hard to say, eh?
you know, depends.
Honestly, yeah.
Depends
On his demeanor and what happened to him today, right?
Depends how much brain trauma he's been exposed to.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think, man, you know, the thought of you again. Obviously, you don't work for the mob. The thought of you working for the mob is an enthralling one. But I will say
not happen. Okay.
But it sounds like the way you talk about your gig. It's like you're working for the FBI or something. How great would it be if Adam was an FBI agent just playing a role?
Oh, if this is all fake?
None the wiser. Yeah. You're just playing this whimsical
Trying to get in deep with us.
character.
I'm not sure if I should say this, but since we talked about it, infiltrating some prostitution ring or something.
The one way to make you laugh is to just talk about sex. Just imagining
loves
you
it.
fucking prostitutes, you're laughing.
Oh, that was a funny story too.
What was?
The prostitute story.
There's a prostitute story as
It was
well?
two. It was
Turn it into one. I was just stranded in 2 different cities, but
Oh, well, Adam, you understand that here's the thing, right? If you're stranded at an airport, right, and you got I say stranded, but you're not stranded. You got a flight to catch. You're on.
it's a version of being stranded. I'm not stranded forever.
No, you're on schedule.
Oh.
You're on schedule.
Well,
You're
we're
supposed to
playing
be in
with the
Washington.
words.
There's a flight the next day. You're
Okay,
going
you're
to
playing with
Europe.
the
You're not
words.
stranded. You understand that when you venture out into the world, most of the time as a guy, it's for. You just got cum on the brain. You're thinking of you're thinking of sexual gratification generally.
Which, Adam, I'll tell you something, is not a problem because you're a
I
dude.
really hope we could change the subject,
You're a
please.
dude.
you know?
Look, don't be don't be ashamed of your sexuality. You're a sexual being. You're a human being.
Just admit it. You went out into the world. You went out to Brussels, and you're like, you were just biting your lip a little bit. You're like, let's see where this goes.
Human beings are sexual. Okay, you know what your issue is? You're too ashamed of your sexuality, so it always comes off as weird, and that's why you had that weird approach with that high schooler, the student, is because you're so repressed.
That was the last thing on my mind, believe me.
What was the last thing on your mind? Sex? You said you liked
it was more like, what the hell happened? This woman all of a sudden just totally like blew me off. And
that's
forgot
not.
about
She did blow you off
in the non-sexual sense.
Here's the thing. That's not what we're talking about. This is what I hate that you do that pisses me the fuck off. You think that what I just said when you're thinking about sex is you think I was talking about after she called the cops. No, I'm talking about the reason why you initially approached her is because you found her attractive and you found her fun.
I'd like to be within my rights to correct you. I found her attractive because she looked good looking. She was a blonde.
That's what I just said.
But I don't mean sexually. You're implying or you're not implying.
Well, you want to sexually interact with people that we think look good.
Okay, fine. What you're doing is you're taking common sense a step further. I didn't.
Well, isn't that your thing?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Isn't that your thing? Is just operate in the realm of common sense?
Okay, let me tell you a little piece of information here.
Sure, but just so you know, when you just say, I like to fuck.
I thought I was dead in the water with her, and I didn't stand a chance.
What?
What am I wasting time with this woman for? By chance, this guy that I think I started chatting with in the same class said, "Oh, you have your eye on this woman." She meant absolutely nothing. I was like, what am I doing? He even picked up on the fact that I was like staring at her.
Well, you probably weren't subtle.
So had it not been for him, I would
you wanted to fuck her.
Idiot.
You wanted to fuck her.
I don't look at it. That's not what.
What are you doing? What are you being too proud? You just, I didn't want to fuck her. I liked her for her mind. I thought she was beautiful, and I thought, let's see what she has to say about World War I. What her take on how that thing all started and how she thought it would have could have been avoided. Like, what are you talking about? Just own it. He's right. Just own the fact that you like to fuck. Who gives a shit? Because you know what happens when you just kind of have this weird this weirdness to it is people think that you want to wear their skin.
Let me tell you the most appropriate words.
But Adam, when you don't just if you don't kind of imply, I'm a dog, I want to fuck. But there's like a weird undercurrent where it's still clearly the case that you want to fuck, but you won't admit it and you're trying to mask it. Then it's like, well, what's this guy got to hide? He might want to kill me and wear my skin.
Exactly. Because the thing is, we're human beings, bruh. How do you think? You know how you exist?
Okay.
Hold on. There's like what? There's 8 billion of us. What do you think?
Whatever.
There's 7 billion of us. What do you think that was an accident? Like, how did they get here? I'll tell you how they got there. From banging.
Most people are busting nuts every day.
Sequential order, or the word sequential order mean anything? You're thinking he has this eye on this woman, all of a sudden sexual. No, that's like step 5.
No.
That's my interpretation.
Step 1.
I'm correcting you.
It's step 1,
brother.
Well,
you're not understanding. It's step 1. No, it's not. You know what you're doing? You're convoluting the truth with your fantasies. No one is saying that you see her and then you go and you rape her. What we're saying is you saw her and naturally, instinctually, you thought, oh, this could be a potential mate. I find her attractive. I like her. Let me go get to know her. Maybe she's a nice person. But the first thing you found her, when you said you found her attractive, what do you think that means biologically? What do you think you're attracted to?
It's almost like you're trying to give an alibi.
Physically.
Do you know that is a whole discipline unto itself? Yes, you are partially right. I'll tell you that much. You're partially right. But hey, you're someone who's smart, who wants to go to medical school. You know what I mean? I was looking at
it's
other
almost
aspects. I
like
was looking at sexuality.
But I don't know. Whenever you talk about like this woman, I feel like you're trying to give an alibi. Like, no, I didn't want to fuck her. Ergo, like in case. So I'm not saying you raped her, but it's almost like you did, and you're trying to say like, oh yeah, I didn't even want to fuck her. Why would I rape her?
It's just disgusting.
You know, what are you afraid of?
Listen, the reason why I can't see this conversation going too far is because you're fixated on a series of ideas, and I'm fixated on a different series of ideas.
How are you around attractive women? Like, are you the same person, or do you lose your cool a bit? Are you nervous?
I'd have to really give that some thought. You know.
Okay.
I mean,
think about it for about 5 more seconds and tell us.
Okay. So fine, maybe at times if she's super attractive, I might be a little hot under the collar or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, now we're being good. Now you're talking about the truth.
Proportion of the time that happens, that's that's
you're steadfast.
Thing.
You're
talking to hot women, and most of the time that isn't the case. That you're hot under the collar. Most of the time you're the fawns.
I don't know what to say.
You're
I
a
really
smooth
don't.
operator. Come on, man. Just admit it. Just admit it. You like... Adam, say it with me.
Say it.
I like...
Cock.
I like to fuck. Say it. I like to fuck. Let's turn it into a...
I like to fuck.
I like to fuck.
It would be nice if you guys would use the same tactic on other guests on the host. I would love to hear what they would say. You know?
We're just assessing... Adam, we're rolling with what you're giving us.
Fine. Burn this word in your brain. Circumstantial. Okay?
Yeah.
You circumstantially like them. All right.
That makes more sense. That's way better, actually. Circumstantial. Circumstantial.
I would like to
That
go
was
on
awful. You said it on your own twice, and I said it on my own once. I thought we were doing the unison thing.
I'd like to go on a bit of a tangent, actually, and ask you this question, Tommy.
Sure.
So you've done
This
podcasts
is
in many places.
yeah, he's changing subjects. He's changing subject.
I've said everything I feel there's to say, you know?
You just said one of the most concise things you've said since I've done this pod for 2 weeks now.
You're finally a human being.
I circumstantially like to fuck. That's one of the most bang on thing. Everyone likes to circumstantially fuck. That's true.
Yeah. Under the right circumstance, I'll fuck.
Yeah, under the right circumstance. Yeah. or under the right circumstance, I don't care how ugly she is. I'll fuck.
Yeah. I love it.
I was going to ask you, you don't relegate your podcast just to Montreal, right? You go anywhere you feel like it, right?
Relegate.
I like to use certain terms. What do you want?
No, outside of Montreal, he doesn't allow them to listen.
One pod. No. I think you mean I pod elsewhere sometimes.
What's your reasoning behind why you would or would not want to have a only podcast in Montreal?
What? Podcasts are not, they're not Adam. We're doing so well. I was calm. What are you doing now?
What's your reasoning? That's all I know.
They're not, but it's not a tree. It's not rooted anywhere. It's
I'm just asking how you
it's
feel.
air. It's in the ether.
Do you make it a plan to go to Ireland, let's say, and do a podcast, or just based on how you feel?
I make it a plan to go to places.
Right.
While I'm there, I got to record. It's one pod a week.
Okay.
You know?
Fine.
Yeah.
So factor.
It isn't with the internet. No, the internet is no. Geography is not a mitigating factor in the modern world. No.
All right.
Some people listen to this outside of Quebec, I assume.
You have American listeners.
You know, it's not a mitigating factor.
We have Americans. We've got a lot of Canadians.
You know, man. Yeah, no, I'm not bogged down by anything. I don't work for Sirius XM, and I got to show up to the studio, you know, in Manhattan and fucking,
All right.
you know.
Tell me if I have a little bit of intelligence when I say this. Maybe you have a studio and you don't have the know-how / equipment to record anywhere else. I didn't know that until you say that, okay?
Okay. You have a little bit of intelligence, yes. Sure, a little bit. There's a little bit. That's yeah. It's mobile. It doesn't have to be as sophisticated as this. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You have any other questions about how to before I go my merry way before Poseidon
I hope
returns?
someone else can bring up something totally. Did something rather extraordinary and/or unbelievable happen to you lately?
Yeah, you have a way with words. Something
I do.
rather extraordinary.
Yeah.
It's been stuck
Unbelievable.
in your memory bank and you'd like to share it with us.
I'll tell you what. This one time, I was fucking this chick from behind. And it really stands out to me.
I was really giving it to her.
Are you uncomfortable yet, Adam?
You're the one who's sharing the story.
You're
not
trying
me.
to.
I'm just the audience here.
Adam, I don't know, man. It's just we're
Hey, Adam, have you ever been in love?
good.
Like, but not family. I mean, like love, like romantic
I
love.
have once, but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
I
How
was with
long?
the woman for 3 months. She wanted to get married. I
What?
said no.
You know what I've
Serious.
noticed about guys like you? It's
Hold on. Dude, 3 months. This is a good story.
Yeah, I know.
3 or 4, I can't remember.
3, but like middle-aged guys who are a little bit different. You know, you're a little bit peculiar. You're a little bit of a peculiar guy. I think it's part of your nature.
People say that about me.
Yeah, you are, I think, I mean this respectfully, you are that cousin for a lot of people. Like a lot of people just have a cousin who's kind of like,
The oddball.
Yeah, you're like the oddball cousin. And I have one of these guys in my family as well. He's like the oddball cousin, and he could have gone legit if he had just married that one woman, and it didn't work out.
Oh, she had a lot of influence on him in terms of the way.
Yeah, just he, and I mean now he just doesn't believe in banks, you know, like.
Yeah, they're not real.
But you know, had he married that woman, his life would have looked very.
Banks.
I like. So what do you think? So my question for you is, what do you think your life would look like if you married that woman? 3 months is, you know.
Well, honestly,
you got to get to know someone in 3 months.
I'll tell you what. So fine, let's do a little bit of role playing. So I'm now a married man.
Yeah, let's end
really
off-
have a high level of chemistry.
You didn't have a high level of chemistry.
Did not.
Okay, so you ended it.
Yeah.
You ended it.
Yes.
Was she pretty?
Okay, I you know this game when you play, I was telling her I'm seeing a therapist, I'm really not comfortable.
I don't know
She
that
doesn't
game.
what the hell
I've
with
never
you.
played that game where I tell people I'm seeing a therapist and I'm not really comfortable.
And I don't know where our relationship is. You're kind of shedding hints, you know, you're dropping hints, you know, I don't know if it's
So you
gonna
let her
work.
down easy.
I coerced her into wanting to break up with me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I can't believe it took coercion.
Well, I
Wait, hold on.
went about
Did
it.
you like
in a
having
non-roundabout
having
way.
that power over her as well?
Manipulating her?
No, but how did it feel to be wanted? How did it feel to be desired?
I don't think about that thought.
That's insane. Adam, how did you meet?
I met her through a friend.
Okay, and what did she look like? Tall, short, black hair, blonde hair, man.
Average height, brown hair. She was actually mulatto. She was half native. She was Native Indian. I'm not joking. Half white and half Native Indian.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did she?
She wasn't ugly, believe me.
You got to save that. You got to save those terms for the bedroom. Adam.
yeah.
What I maybe should have meant,
Mulatto
actually,
is
what I
crazy.
maybe should have
It's a
said,
crazy
wait,
term.
what I maybe should have said was her ancestors, she didn't come from a reserve. Her ancestors were Native Indian.
I'm gonna get
But
I'm gonna
whatever.
get the native fatwa put back out on me, dude. I'm done. It's over. It's over for me. The native fatwa's back on.
So you and Pocahontas had a romantic adventure.
Jesus
And
Christ. The funny thing is, that's not even what that term refers to. It's a half black, half. I just spat all over. I'm sorry.
Okay, you can
you
be
little
mulatto
aroused.
if
I
you're
just
Native.
spat. I just
Hold on.
spat all over you. I apologize for that.
It's okay. You can be mulatto if you're Native Indian.
Stop saying it. Stop saying the word. And I don't think that's the case. It's Métis is the word you're looking for.
Well, there's a number of names. First Indian.
No, there's one. It's Métis.
Okay, fine.
The other one is a term for a mixed race
All right,
black
okay,
woman.
thanks for telling me.
With a black base.
Oh, this is a stories about
Anyway.
a bunch of.
Pantelis had a question.
So we
How
established what
did
she
I
looked
meet
like.
her?
Yeah, can you try?
Heard the guy that she was dating at the time.
Without any slurs.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what? You stole her from someone?
What the
No.
He gave her to me.
Heartbreaker.
He gave her to me. Yeah.
I was introduced to a friend of a friend introduced me to this other friend.
Right.
And he had this other guy that he introduced me to, said, this is my girlfriend.
Hold on. A friend introduced to another friend who had another friend.
Yes, no
So
joke,
why'd you have
three
to?
people.
Why do we start with your friends?
Sounds like you're joining a cult, Adam.
It's weird, but it's true. I was friends with the guy.
Cults
His
are
bro-
weird,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. I was friends with the guy. His brother was the guy that he introduced me to, and his brother introduced me to his friend who was dating this woman.
So there's like
And
a
few
domino.
months later,
There's a
I found
domino
out they broke
effect.
up.
There's
It's that simple.
Okay.
She actually liked me. No joke.
Yeah.
She says, "Hey, you're
I
a
believe
cool
it.
guy."
What did you do to psyop her into liking you?
Yeah.
Did you,
What was the charm you
I
showed
was
up?
my regular self.
That works.
Wow. And she.
Listen, it's funny, but it's true.
And nobody's put up with you since.
Wait, so she was 3 months with you and said, "I want to get married."
No, hang on.
I'm not kidding. Closer to 4.
I feel like an asshole just closing out on that. I wasn't making. I
Okay,
mean,
what do you wanna know?
legit. There was a legit question. Like, has nobody else come close to wanting you to marry them since?
No.
You ever think about reaching back out to her?
She had a kid with that. She got back with that same guy, by the way. No joke. And she had a kid. So I
She was like, she went back to him and was like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. This guy psyoped
I
me.
can't read her mind, but whatever.
Is there a chance that maybe she was always with that guy and they were trying to get you to marry her for money while they would have just banged on the side?
That's the first time
You
I've ever
doubt
heard anything
it.
like
I like the idea that.
Impossible.
I like the idea that this lady might have like gone back to the husband and been like, yeah, I mean, I'm devastated. I'm not even.
Why did I start dating him?
I'm not even getting back on the horse anymore. Just
Adam ruined me for all
Adam
of the
ruined
men.
me. Adam rejected me, and I can't even stomach getting back in the dating market.
Did you hold her hand?
My
ever?
heart was too broken.
She's my girlfriend, of course.
Did you throw down? Did you guys get intimate?
Somewhat.
What's the somewhat?
Listen, do these details really matter?
They do actually. That's how we're going to determine.
This is a comedy
the
show, not a
level.
show where you analyze my intimacy. Come on.
No. This was a long time ago. Just how far did you get?
He
we
doesn't
kissed
kiss and
We
tell.
kissed every now and then. I mean, you know.
You kissed that. That's all we're asking. You didn't perform intercourse.
No.
Well, he doesn't have to kiss and tell. What do you do? What do you do? Are you trying to goad him into something?
No,
here?
I'm not going in because I kind of suspected he only kissed. And I have a running theory in my head that they were trying to run a fraudulent scam on Adam because he's the victim of a lot of scams.
I see.
I swear, you
see.
guys, no.
I'm sorry. No. You had his best interest at
Yes.
heart. Adam, do these people still have your coordinates?
No.
Thank
It's been many years. And it's, well, I don't know why I'm releasing all these details, but the guy that I met,
like Alex Jones.
the
I'm gonna
guy who
release
started all the-
I'm gonna
the guy who
release the
started
details.
introduction turned out to be a rather unpleasant person, and I'm glad he's not my friend.
I figured.
Yeah. So
Well, there's still time. I think the first step is admitting that you,
Do you ever
have,
think
a
about it?
problem. That
No.
Do you ever look up at the moon and be like, what could have been with Pocahontas?
you can
No?
get back on the horse, Adam, and the first step is admitting that you have horny thoughts.
Yes.
You got to admit that you have a problem.
You have to admit that you have horny thoughts, and then you could find a woman.
I want to hear you say, Adam, because again, I'm not going to be on this pod as of next week as things.
I'm nervous because one of my publicists is about to show up, and she's an attractive woman, and I'm very worried that Adam is going to lose his shit.
I would love to see that in the wall. Should we just like take off one of these cameras and film it vlog style? Just extend a little coda for the podcast? No, but Adam, when I tune back into the podcast, okay, in a week or two, when I'm not going to be on, I'm just going to be a humble viewer. I want to hear you do what you do.
yes.
About sex. I want you to go, I like to fuck. What's wrong with that?
Oh, that'll be the best.
We reached a
I'd like to get my
consensus,
ass
and it
eaten.
says
What's wrong with that?
circumstantial.
Okay,
I know I use all these fancy words, but it's-
Adam.
That's good. We're making progress. It's
What you're
good.
saying doesn't matter and doesn't make sense because it's circumstantial for everyone. Obviously, they're gonna have sex under the correct circumstances. No one's just gonna fuck someone on a city bus.
It's not as rape, generally.
Yeah, I know.
It's got,
What you're saying is insane.
well, no, it's
I'll
accurate. It's
tell you,
accurate.
guys,
It's just,
It's accurate, but it's
Let me
unnecessary.
see if
That's
I
like
use
saying
the-
I only put shoes on when I need to walk around outside with shoes on.
it's a big step for him. He's
Listen,
admitting it.
Let me see if I can use a means that's
Good
fair
point,
of
actually.
gauging the situation. I want to know, ballpark figure, how many other guests besides me that have been on the show or any of the other shows that you
Yeah.
produced do you get into conversations about sexuality?
Maybe 70%.
Most.
Oh.
Yeah. It can
That's how
happen.
human beings are. We're sexual creatures.
I would also say, yeah, there's also not much. I don't have an opinion about you know, about
Okay, but
about
you know
every
what?
hot burning issue.
There's
you know?
nothing wrong, and I'm fully within my rights to say, well, why don't you classify me as that 30% that doesn't want to be in there?
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying is knowing,
we've pushed you to your limit, Adam.
Adam, I'm going to tell you one thing.
Go ahead.
You've
Biting
been-
down on the pillow, you've pushed you to your limit right
Yeah,
now.
right now you've been under house arrest for a long time. You now, outside of house arrest, you still have a curfew.
15 months, by the way, but
Okay,
anyway,
it doesn't
just
matter. You
counting.
see,
Yeah.
don't focus on stupid shit. Listen to what I'm telling you. The time doesn't matter. The fact that it was a long time, more than a year, matters. So you've been under house arrest, a convicted felon. Now you have a curfew, which is not optimal for someone, right? You live with a questionable person. At least we think he's questionable. You think he's a great dude. You lived in his cellar, and now
boy.
you share a bedroom.
Oh, boy.
Now you have all this stuff that's going for you in the wrong way. Finally, some good stuff that's happening. You have a job. You're driving people to their destination. They're trusting you. You're loving the gig. The only problem with the gig is that you wake up early, but you don't give a shit about that because you're finally an adult man. Now, within this whole time, you have not been able to two things. One, express yourself romantically, intimately to a woman. There's something else about when you're with someone that you care about that you guys could talk about stuff that you can't talk about with your roommate. Okay?
Fine.
So that's something that's missing from your life that I think would do you some good. And also, reality, you're a grown man. What are you, 52?
46.
Almost the same. You need to have intercourse with a lady. Like, it's going to do you good. That's the truth.
You need to spawn children.
That I wouldn't go that far. Maybe you don't need to
babies.
reproduce, but you don't need to reproduce, but you need to, give her some juice.
All right.
Back, you know what, like Adam, back in like 1879, you would have been like an eligible bachelor. There would be people lining up to, they say, yeah, he's a little quirky, but
He
he's
says fancy words.
but he's exactly. He's a little quirky, but he's got a good job as a driver. He's he's putting his past behind him, his criminal past behind him. It's a little dangerous maybe for some people. You do have some things going for you. You have a longer rap sheet than some rappers. You have a longer rap sheet than Kendrick Lamar. So, there is something there. I think back in the day, people would have set you up. You gotta grab the bull by the horns a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's consensually.
Yeah,
I do want to
think
state that.
instead of
I don't
waiting for someone to hand you,
I don't want to be the reason why you get the wrong idea here. You got to follow all laws.
You're giving me what's known as words of encouragement.
Words of encouragement.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Too, yeah.
You know? Yeah. But you don't even have to have kids. Back in the day, you would have had to have kids. You would have been like, you have a hard time dealing with yourself sometimes, fucking, keeping track of the truth and what's real, what's wrong. Imagine having to parent kids.
Yeah,
Back in the day, there would have been a bunch of people like you with kids. You don't have that now. You can worry about yourself. Just
if I was in charge of the government, I'd sterilize people like you. But that's not preventing you from enjoying the beauty of life. And I'm telling you, part of the beauty, dude, is being intimate with someone, talking to them about your deepest, darkest feelings that you would never even say on a podcast. Like, you wouldn't even tell me. You could just tell that one person and explore their bodies, and they'll explore yours.
I think we've taken a step in the right direction.
I'm telling you,
he's
Adam,
tightening up a little, but
I'm telling you, Adam, it's going to do you so much good to have that one person.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you why.
You can even have 3 people. I don't give a shit.
Let me tell you why I'm.
You imagine if he just started, the floodgates were open,
and he becomes, you know what the weekend is? His songs. He becomes the weekend. Wow. He's the long weekend.
Yeah.
Guys, I am not here to chastise anybody, but I really would like to ask Pantelis, what's your motto, or what's your stance? That's a good word to use. What is your stance vis-a-vis the fact that now all of our listening public knows that I'm on house arrest? I mean, isn't that something that would have been better? Mention it once and keep it under the rug. Now,
well, no, because now. They've known this for months. We've talked about this for months. You've literally called us while you were on house arrest.
Yeah.
You literally called into the podcast while you were on
that
house
was
arrest.
the only means to reach me by phone.
I know,
Why are we calling the guy?
I know, but we know this is you right now. You're telling me, Pantelis, can you please answer a question? Why did you call me Adam? Now everybody knows my name is Adam. Yeah, they've been knowing since the whole time. I didn't divulge any secrets. You were on the podcast while on house arrest, talking about your house arrest. Are you fucking insane?
Haven't you talked about
this for a little bit?
Haven't you talked about it extensively?
Yes, you talked about it extensively.
Not have me on the phone and wait until like later on, and then okay, people.
You chose to be on the phone. You said I can't be there in person. I can be on the phone.
Actually, no, it's a gray area. I remember Guido was saying, here, make sure you pick up, get on the phone. And I was telling him I'd rather not, but
that's not what you said. Because I even asked you before we were on air, and there's even a recording of you on air. I even asked Adam, we're going to start the show. Do you want to be on, or should we hang up? And you go, no, I can start the show. I'll do the fucking show. So go fuck yourself, Adam. Don't play your fucking bitch games with me. You're not going to manipulate me. What are you, crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like it's a thing that's come up on every episode, to be fair. It feels like it's a bit of an odd time to bring it up now. I mean...
I know. Okay, so fine. I'm dealing with the issue like 10 months after, right? What I'm saying in retrospect, I should have kept it quiet, but whatever. People know. So I'm just, okay. You're probably wondering where am I going with
I think that's
between
your
all
aura.
the way that I run my life and the fact that I'm on house arrest, I was hoping you can kind of see that it's not the most pleasant way to run your life when you're having this.
But you don't have to be ashamed of.
You don't have to be ashamed.
I think you're deeply ashamed of all. Yeah, you're ashamed of the sexuality, but we don't have to get into detail on anymore. We've talked about it at length. It's fine. You're not comfortable, but you don't have to be ashamed to be on house arrest. I do think that there's a real power that you could hold if you just said, "Yeah, I'm a felon."
Oh yeah.
Can you, dude? We got to get you some sunglasses.
I didn't grow up that way. I never had any problems with the police. From the time till the time I was 40 something,
Yeah.
Please take that into consideration. So
yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying. You need to kind of, consider. Now, maybe this is something that would make you uncomfortable. Don't do anything you're uncomfortable with. But you could consider what a badass you would sound like if you just said, I don't fucking care about the law.
Okay, but you know what? That's not me.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be
not me.
No, but you can't erase your record. Your record is your record.
Okay, 5
you
years
could be
from now I
ashamed of
can.
it.
5 years from now, but not now.
Well, okay. Oh, so you're playing the long game. Doesn't matter.
I'm allowed.
Well, look, your record could be expunged. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying keep your rap sheet for
Till I'm 70.
No. I'm not saying keep it. Under any and all circumstances because it's cool. Like, yeah, if you could have the record expunged and, have a few things open, have a few pathways open up for you that are currently closed off as a convicted felon. Okay, fine. But you should still tell people privately that you're a convicted felon. It's good. You could maybe bone off it.
No, okay, listen. Let me introduce a very important piece of information.
Uh-oh.
Very important.
All the people in my family, my father, my sister, my mother, they all are very people that do things above board, and well, my father's no longer alive, but it doesn't matter.
Do it privately. They don't need just when you go to a bar, your family's not there. Just create an identity
It's a matter
for
of
yourself.
principle,
That's honorable. That's honorable. I'm just spitballing here in terms of things that you might consider doing. I will say, listen, I think you made a lot of progress today. You're
not yelling at me, so that shows.
you're a sexual conservative, but you admitted that under the right circumstances you could be
Engaging.
I guess we kind of bullied you into saying it, but I think it's the truth. You just
no kidding.
But you also spoke. You spoke your mind. It's good. It's kind of that sort of shit fires people up. Just admit it. I like to fuck. Like Mike Pence was a really conservative guy, and if he just could come out and said, under the right circumstances, I could be persuaded to stick my tongue up a lady's ass, it would have fired people up. It would have endeared him to people. People like folks that appear real. That's why people like when Trump had the bus tape and was talking about grabbing by the pussy, and people were like, okay, he's obviously joking. That kind of endeared him to a lot of people because he just sounded like a bro,
Listen, I don't want to get into a political discussion, but I consider inappropriate behavior from a political leader.
To do what?
Talk about grabbing pussy. It's ridiculous.
Listen, it's super ridiculous now. Before we let Sam go, Sam Adamo and Adam. How did you enjoy this trilogy of episodes with your co-host?
Very much so.
It was good, right?
Thumbs up.
Gratifying.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm humbled that you would grant me the opportunity to share the stage with you, Mr. Adam.
Intellectuals out.
Out.